to steal from the Empire? You just walk in like you belong. They're so proud of themselves. So fat and satisfied. They can't imagine that someone like me would ever get inside their house.
Cassian Andor. The Empire is choking us so slowly. We're starting not to notice. What I'm asking is this. Wouldn't you rather give it all to something real? I need all the heroes I can get.
For the greater good.
Call it what you will.
Let's call it war.
There's fermenting out there, son. Pockets of fermenting.
You're in my net. Are you a fish? Or are you a thief?
You're slipping.
I'm not slipping. I've just been hiding for too long.
As long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation, there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really doing?
This is what revolution looks like.
I'm tired of losing.
Wowee. Wowee. G'day there. Welcome to the RaeSide. My name is Hannah. Welcome back to another live show. It is good to be here. We are at the finale of Andor, which is going to be very exciting. It's all led up to this, and it's going to be hopefully a very good show we're going to get later on tonight. But to tie us over until then, welcome to the live show. Welcome to the countdown. We've got a lot going on today. We have so much happening. I'm so glad that you're here and that you're a part of it. Let me know in the chat how you're doing today, this week, how your week's going. Had a good week. Very excited for the episode, of course. I get just as excited for finales as I do premieres. And if you were around for the premiere of Andor, that was exciting. That was an epic show. Our countdown to the premiere. And now we are sadly at the countdown to the finale. But like I said, we're going to have lots of fun today. We've got lots of things to make and talk about and discuss. And it's going to be such fun. But let me see who's in the chat, who's live with us. Out of the wire, see you in there. Jedi Jen, welcome back to the show. North Onyx, fantastic to have you here. Nerd Cantina, welcome, my friend. And many more others. It's amazing. So good to have you here. Well, welcome to the live show. We're going to be talking a little bit about everything with Andor, really. We're going to go over all the episodes that we've had of Andor. We're going to go over the main characters and, you know, our thoughts, our feelings as we've come to the close of season 1 and, you know, how this series, or sorry, season, this first season of Andor, a new series, has impacted Star Wars, which I think it really has made an impact in many, many ways. So it's got to be a great show. The Cake Jaffa, Keen Eye, yes, up here. I've got my, that's a Cassian Andor Funko Pop. That came out just a little before the premiere did. So, yeah, I caught that a week or two before the premiere. One of my favorite Funkos. And I always take my Funkos out of the box, but I left Cassian in his box. And actually, if you do have a Keen Eye, I've actually changed around the set a little bit this week. I've changed around a little bit. I'm constantly adding things, taking things away. Yeah, see if you can. It's like to spot the difference. It's like see if you can see what changes week by week. But it's so good to have you here. I like how you've sneakily placed the snow speeder at the side. Yeah, I got my snow speeder here, and I think I'm going to add some more going down the wall as well. Good eye, Jared. Good to have you here, man. What a day! What a day! I'm already exhausted with the excitement. But to get me through, which we're going to start with today, we're going to start with a beverage from Andor. Now, if you've been watching the show for a little while, I've actually made quite a lot of things from Andor. Now, watching through the show, you would have seen that there was actually quite a large variety of foods and beverages in Andor. And for this kind of show, for my format when I'm making things, I made it so much easier. So one of the things that I made a couple weeks ago was the full title. I think it's called the Chandrillan Squigs. Now, this is the beverage that Mon Mothma shares with her husband Perrin in like their house, and they have this they have a little cheers with it. They they get the bartender to pour a drink, and they place a little what is called a squig, which kind of just looks like a worm, in the beverage, and they share it together, and then Tay Coleman comes in, and that whole thing. So if you remember that. That's what we're gonna start off making today to get us kicked off. Let's put it in Chandrillan Squigs. It's such a weird thing to say quickly, but I think it's time to get Action Cam in, but renamed, not just Action Cam. It is renamed Reaction Cam. It's got a new title this week, since last week. And again, a couple of things have changed since last week. I've also got a new desk. I've got a new desk this week, so a little bit wider just because of all the things I'm going to be making. I needed a bigger space, so I made this desk for bigger things to make on the show. So let's get our ingredients in here. Now, I see the question was the cake Jaffa. Is this drink alcoholic? It can be. So for the purposes of today, I'm keeping the show sober for today. And this one is non-alcoholic, but you absolutely can make it alcoholic. And I've actually done it with Prosecco, with champagne before, and it was much, much, much better. But we're gonna do a sober version today, just so you can have both versions. It's very simple though. It's very simple. It's just a little bit of a concoction. Very, very simple. A few ingredients, and we'll get into it. So the first thing we're gonna do now. The Star Wars website actually came out with a recipe for this beverage, this Chandrillan Squigs, and they recommend using lime soda water, which I did use it last time, which was very delightful, very refreshing. But I'm going for a solo. Actually, I don't know is this an international beverage? I actually have no idea. This might be very popular everywhere else, but maybe it's an Australian beverage. But this is essentially a lemon and lime beverage, which I just kind of expanded upon. They recommended using lime, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do lemon and lime. So this is the base of the beverage we're going for. So this is the first thing we add to the drink. And you see in the show, it actually starts that kind of slightly translucent, that's hard to say, color. And then they add, I don't know what it is in the Star Wars world, but what they add is a little bit of mango juice. Star Wars recommends. So I got a bit of mango juice here. And for some reason, it's not called juice here in Australia. It's called mango nectar, which I don't know the difference. I don't know why it can't be mango juice, but this is technically mango nectar. Raycam, loving the Raycam. So it has lime. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it says lemon and lime. Maybe I didn't make that up. Actually, you know what? I think I might have just. What am I thinking of? What else has lemon and lime in it? I think it is just lemon. I'll go back on that. Thank you. Who was that? Yeah. The cake Jaffa. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's only just lemon. All right. So it's only did you catch that? It's only a wee splash, a little splash of mango nectar or juice. Let me just test the ratios there. Tastes like Chandrilla. Great. So that's all that is, those two beverages together. So at this point, to make it alcoholic, instead of using, you still have a lime or lemon beverage with the mango nectar, and then you would just add champagne to it, yeah, if you wanted. Or even like a spirit, tequila would go pretty well. Now, what I've got here, which I thought in Australia we had sour gummies, sour worm gummies. See, mango nectar is fancier, absolutely. Nectar, yeah, more pulpy than fruit. more pulpy than fruit than juice. Okay, yeah, that makes sense because it's. I can't quite describe it, but like it's thick. I wouldn't call it pulpy because it's like I can't taste there's bits in it, but it's like thick. So that makes more sense. It's more of a texture or viscosity of the liquid. Sour gummies, sour worms. I thought we had these in Australia. We absolutely don't. I looked everywhere for sour gummies or worms because, they put a little, that's what the squig is, the squig part. They put a little squig in the beverage, but we don't have that. So I'm going to do the Australian equivalent of this. And I've got sour gummy koalas, drop bears, as you may know them. But I got sour koalas, which I actually, to be honest, I've never had. I've never actually seen these. Reaction cam. Can get a shot of this. So instead of using the squigs, it's not Chandrillan squigs anymore. It's like Australian koalas in the beverage. I think we just pop one in like that, and it's going to add a little fizz. I don't know if you can see that too closely on the action cam. It's adding a bit of fizz because like the sourness of the thing like adds a bit of the fizz to the already carbonated beverage. And then there is your completed drink. So again, you can add like, some sort of a tequila or champagne to this to make it a bit, more of an adult drink. But this is the sober version. But cheers to the finale of Andor. Here we go. Beautiful. That is going to be refreshing. Right. This show is like most beneficial for me. I just get to drink all this stuff, eat all this stuff. But let's talk. Let's talk about, we'll take reaction cam down for a second. We'll get into more hands-on stuff in a moment. But let's have a chat about how everyone's feeling with the finale. So, geez, Ravs, thank you so much. Fortis Knight, oh, so good to have you here. Just saw your comment. Thanks for coming. Sour Patch Kids are not gummies. Is that a question mark? Sour Patch Kids are not gummies? Well, they're gummies. They're gummies, correct. Is that, yeah. You could mix koala gummies into gummy bears and they wouldn't notice anything. That's a good point. I love it. But let's talk about our final thoughts for Andor. What are we expecting? Predictions. Let's give our initial predictions for the finale. I definitely think someone is going to die. I just haven't figured out whom yet. But I definitely think one of the characters is going to die. I have this odd feeling of Luthen. And Luthen is such an interesting character, and he's been such an important character throughout the whole series. And he's almost been the main character, just as Andor or even Mon Mothma has been the main character. But I don't feel like maybe not this episode, maybe not the finale, but I definitely feel like season 2 that guy's gonna die. If he doesn't die tonight, he's gonna die next season. To be honest, the last episode 11, which actually we haven't talked about here yet, but I thought he was gonna cark it when he was confronting Saw. I thought Saw was gonna kill him, or one of his Saw's partisans was gonna kill him. I definitely thought that was. Did anyone else feel that vibe? I was like, this has got to go down. Like they were confronting each other, but I was like, yeah, this is absolutely the moment where like Luthen will die, and it will be like really, really shocking. Otherwise, you're only on episode 9. Oh, dude, just mute for a second, and then I don't know, wave to come back. But yeah, this is going to be spoiler heavy, by the way. If should I have put that somewhere? We're counting down all the way to the episode's drops, or a little before that stream. We'll go for a couple hours for now. We'll go for maybe 2 hours today. So not right up until the drop. There we'll have a little break in between. Andor is right. Not sure what to expect. Maybe a setup to be a bigger rebellion. Okay, so as I talk about the finale, maybe it's going to build up to be a little bit bigger. I'm just hoping Luthen or Dedra doesn't die. Yeah. I mean, Dedra Meero, that's another fantastic character that I didn't really see coming for this series. But she's been a fantastic role. Definitely that villain, that evil. And, I think up until episode 9, even episode 10, I was really on her side. I think a lot of people were on her side and really enjoying that character. But, spoiler, like, you know, what she puts Bix through is pretty rough. It's pretty confronting. The cake Jaffa. Oh yes, you know what? That's the funniest. I have forgotten for like 2 months about this plot line. His sister is going to show up for the post credit scene. Imagine, and also Bix might die. Yeah, actually, Bix may die. That's a good idea. Not good idea because I don't want her to die, but like that's plausible. That's a very plausible idea. Heading back to Andor's adoptive mama's planet, most likely the whole lot of folks there are going to die. Yeah, I feel like, you know, obviously everything's kind of pointing to the direction that we're going to go back on Ferrix. Like the key point of last episode was getting Andor to the information that his mother's died. And once we get that, you know, obviously he's pretty distraught and obviously they're like, come back for the funeral. But, you know, from our perspective, we can also see everyone else lining up to be at the funeral. Luthen is supposedly headed there. I'm kind of assuming Luthen's headed there. Vel is headed there because she like talked to what's the girl's name? What's Luthen's assistant name? Not Lita. Clea, there we go. You know, talk to Clea. So Vel's gonna go, and then I think Mira's gonna go. Mira's gonna be there. Like it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be intense to say the least. Hey Ray, do you think that Paps will show up today? Maybe in the Senate. You know what? I would kill for like I don't think they'll go all in for like we're gonna get Ian McDermott in the flesh in the Senate, like full on scene. I don't think that just from judging on this whole show's tone and like direction and what they've done with characters, I don't think that's going to happen. That's different to if I want that. Will it happen? I feel like it won't. Do I want it to happen? I would love it. I would love to see even just a hologram Palpatine to show up and kind of start to maybe, you know, we know ISB kind of in charge of a lot, you know, the day-to-day things, making sure everything's under control. But, you know, we got that scene with Yularen that came in and he said that line where he's like, you know, I spoke to the Chancellor directly about this, blah, 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 blah. So it's like, you know, over this season, it's been like the rebellion or, you know, this rebel activity has been a growing threat to the Empire. And I think it's just kind of been an annoying thing for the Chancellor. Like he probably hasn't paid a lot of attention to it. But I think maybe at this point, like, you know, with Aldani and then now with this massive prison break, like we still haven't seen the ramifications of the prison break. But you know, that was a massive thing to happen. So I feel like the Chancellor probably is like, oh yeah, like let's really crack down. And, you know, I think the Chancellor like runs on putting people into fear. So I think he'll like even just some sort of message correspondence of a hologram of him talking about like we should fear these rebel people or something. I don't know, something like that. Oh yeah, that's a bit of a spoiler. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Supposedly a Death Star tease. What is your opinion on Luthen maybe being a Jedi? I don't think he is. I really haven't entertained the idea much. I don't think he is. But I mean, fair enough. He's kind of an elusive guy. If you think he is, Luthen can't die. We just got him. They're still setting him up. I feel like, yeah, that's fair. He's still definitely building up. Like I think he's being built up to be a really, like I said, important character in the series. But you know, that's what we always get. We always get really great build-ups of characters and that we really like, and then they die. Like, you know, look at Nemec. He was, you know, becoming a really interesting character. That's interesting. Yep. BT Diaz on the Mon Mothma side. The whole selling her daughter for the rebellion vibe will play out. Yeah, I definitely think so. Andor will narrowly escape thanks to either Luthen or surprise character sister. I really haven't. Like I have not thought of the sister, but at all. But you know, that's plausible. Again, that's a good one. I like that. Didn't we see Death Troopers in the trailer? Are they coming to Andor's planet? That's a good point. I should have picked that up. We just watched the first like major trailer just at the start of the show. I didn't even catch that. ISB will at the funeral. It may get crazy. Absolutely, I totally agree. I think that's from what we know, it's setting up to be a good finale. I like just the idea that like everyone's there. It's going to be this chaotic thing that like Luthen's there, Vel's there, Cassian's back. You know, it's for Marva's funeral. Like all the people on Ferrix, Bix is like still in custody, and you know Mira's going to come back, and Cyril is like, you know, we're kind of assuming Cyril's on his way to Ferrix as well, or is he on Ferrix already? No, did we see? We didn't see him on Ferrix, right? But yeah, I've seen some things of Thrawn. Love Thrawn, but don't think he's going to be in this show. Yeah, totally agree with your prediction about Palpatine. I think it will only be a hologram at most. Yeah, I think at most. I don't feel like we're going to get. I feel like we won't get a happy ending for Mon this season because Mon's situation is becoming worse and worse. Like you can see her being strangled by the current situation. Also, I think we're getting a fake death / explosive scene for Ferrix. Ooh, a fake death. Oh, as it for Marva? Like Marva's not dead? Is that who you mean? Wow, that's an interesting theory. I like that. Nerd Cantina, I've really grown more of an appreciation for Mon Mothma because of how this show, because of this show, honestly. Yeah, totally agree. I mean, I liked Mon Mothma's presence and character prior to the show. But seeing Genevieve O'Reilly as Mon Mothma and yeah, understanding more about Mon Mothma's character in Andor I'm like, God, that's like gonna be in my next video of shows that we need on Disney Plus. Holy wow, we need a Mon Mothma show. That would be phenomenal. That would be so good. She's such a good actor. This is going very refreshingly. Oh, we can see the little our little koala at the bottom there. That actually it'll probably taste good at the end. We'll start to make our next it's food. We're making food next. We're going to start making that in a little bit. We'll keep discussing our final predictions for the episode, or initial predictions, I should say. Photos night. Yeah, true. Classic George trope is at this point. Tarkin, Boba, Maul, Jango, Grievous, all 6 fan favorites to show up who show up first and then die right after they appear in the film. Lol, still bugs me. Yeah, that was a weird trope. That's a good point. I mean, you put it like that. Oh yeah, that's right. Because we're talking about Sevilla. Oh, yeah, I was like, who? I don't remember the character Sev in the show, but you met Sevilla. Welcome to the show, my friend. Good to have you here. Yeah, you know what? This Marva not dead idea is actually really interesting. I kind of like it. That's kind of interesting. Mon always my favorite rebel character. Gotta love how this show treats her and Law. Yeah, I mean, we won't get into it too much, and you know maybe I will a little later on. But if we had to talk about gripes with the show, or you know just overall comments about it, one of my comments would be definitely would want more Mon Mothma, which I understand is weird to say because it's an Andor show, and I feel like I feel like it's you know it's okay that it's not focused on her, but it's like yeah, I just bias and preference. It's like I would have loved more Mon Mothma during this show. I think she had a lot to, you know, really she's up there with Bale setting up the rebellion at this point. But pause that thought. We'll say goodbye to Otter. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yes, we got the gaming stream tomorrow. I gotta dip and avoid spoilers as I catch up. I know, I'm so sorry. This is a spoiler heavy show, but I'll see you tomorrow, my friend. Have a good evening. Hopefully catch up before the finale and enjoy. But back to what we were saying about Mon Mothma. After how this show disposed of the crew who attacked the barracks, Ferrix is going to have a lot more bricks. Wow, zing. That's morbid, but funny. I get you. You legend. Yeah, but yeah, Mon Mothma is, yeah, it's like I feel bad for saying I wanted more of her because it's not her show, but she was just such a good character. And you know what? I think we might actually get a lot more of her in season 2 because I think by then, you know, I saw a couple of comments from Tony Gilroy and a couple of other like people involved with Andor making some comments about in the next season 2, and a lot of it was talking about how it does a lot of time jumps, and it shows a lot of the characters where they're at further up in time, closer to Rogue One, obviously, because obviously we only get next season So that like it'll be interesting, to see how things are progressing for everyone. I kind of like that idea that we'll see Cassian maybe a bit more mature, and whether he gets involved in rebellion by the end of this episode, I'm not sure, but definitely next episode. I think he's gonna, meet Mon Mothma, know Mon Mothma, all that kind of thing. So hopefully she's in it more next season. Cyril, there's a character. You talk about Cyril was going to do something real dumb again, I swear. Yeah, for sure. That guy. Oh my jeez. Yeah, that guy is annoying. I'm not a big fan of Cyril, and not in like a good way. Like I don't really connect with him. I don't really to be like like I understand like what Cassian did, like he lost his job, blah 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 over it. But for me, I can't really connect that Cyril goes like this insane because of it. I can't really connect that or like get into that or like buy into that like intensity that he has about it. But he brought us Star Wars cereal, so I can't criticize him that much. The Rex helmet on the back is insane. Haven't seen that before. Yes, I added that a couple days ago. It looks like a helmet, but I was gonna say fake fan. I'm not really a fake fan. But it's only a mask. So that's why it's sitting quite nicely there. But I love my Rex stuff. Love my Rexy. The saddest character for the first season of Andor for me is Amon and Cyril Khan. Yeah, Cyril's just miserable. Like he's just, what's the word? I can't even think of the word. He's just miserable. He's like sad to watch. But Mon, on the other hand, I feel like Mon's characters, like especially her performance in that last episode just before was so good. And when she got emotional and I took that moment where she was getting emotional talking about Lita and like Vel was there and they were like chatting about it. Like Mon getting upset, I think that was her making that decision. She made that decision in that moment, I think. I think she made the decision that, you know what, she's going to do something really kind of immoral that she feels is immoral. And that is immoral to kind of bargain off, to sell off, exchange the, courtship of her daughter and this guy's son in exchange for money to build a rebellion. It's like, what a predicament to be in. Like, I can understand, like, it's really rough because it's like it's really immoral, but it's like if you're trying to save the literal galaxy, it's like that's the extreme. That's the extremities of what she has to think through and like consider. It's like it's not easy, but it's like, that's freaking hard. Andor's got targeted in prison for a month, humiliated, and his mother died. Can't get more sad than that. That's a good point, actually. It's gone very downhill very quickly for Cassian. You probably can't get can't get sadder than that. Maybe Cyril is going to kill him. Oh yeah, or hang on. He's going to get himself killed. That's it, right? I think, you know what could happen if like everyone's meeting up on Ferrix, right? Excuse me. If everyone's meeting up at Ferrix, I think he's gonna try and like approach Cassian or attack him or something, and ISB will kill Cyril. I think that could happen. Easily the darkest, most grim fate I've seen in the Star Wars since Vader himself, now that I have to look at it. Yeah, Andor's really prospects and just future just seems dark. It seems so dark. You can understand why, when we see him in Rogue One, even though he's like helping the good side, like he's still pretty torn up. He's a pretty torn up guy, and it makes sense understanding where all this stuff is being. Bishi Diaz. I hope they bring Organa in season 2. Mon wasn't alone. They've been hinting at rebellion since before the purge, but I'll understand if they stick to Mon, if there's a direct Andor connection. Yeah, for sure. I actually really thought, thinking now, I don't think it makes sense, but at the start of the season, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to see Bail Organa. We're absolutely going to see Bail Organa. But understanding the kind of the tone and direction of the show, I don't think he would have fit into season 1 anywhere really well, because we already have like a plethora of characters. But season 2, I could see Bail being a bit more involved. Maybe they both like approach Cassian or something to do something. I don't know. There's something there that he could get involved with. Hey, Sin City Sith, it's good to have ya. Been on the phone this whole time and missed everything. Can you restart the entire stream? Yeah, for sure. I'll just let me end broadcast and start a new one. No, it's good to have you here, my friend. Thank you for joining on. We're still in the prediction phase. We're still just chatting what we're thinking of what could happen in the episode. We made some Chandrillan and squigs, but we kind of made it Australian because we didn't have the squigs, but we had sour gummy koalas. So it's a version of Chandrillan squigs, the classic cocktail, Perrin and Mon Mothma. Enjoy. And speaking of, actually, we might as well jump straight into our next meal. We're going to make a meal. This is going to be lunch today. So, of course, like I say in every show, if you haven't been here, if this is your first show and you don't know anything about the show, iconically, I have to run away to grab something during every live show because I always forget something or need something elsewhere. So I'm going to go grab something for our meal we're about to make, and then we'll get into it. Stay right there. And we're back. I'm actually very surprised you all stay here for that whole time. But all right, we are good to go for our next thing. We'll make it on the channel. Now this next meal we've made on the channel before, but I thought for the finale, I'm going to recreate it. I've thought of some better ways to do it, and we're going to do it live again. Oh, that's that's what you need. Just chat to yourselves. This is the part where the reaction cam takes over. This is the reaction cam stream now. I love it. I love it. Amazing. Amazing. I love the Andor show, but the trailer was misleading. Oh, that's a really hot take there, Jared. Interesting. All right. Well, let's get in action cam to see what we are making today. Hang on, I've got to get the things in the frame, and then we'll do it. Get in here, reaction cam. Get in here. Everybody's waiting for you. We're going to be making some blue noodles. Seen on Ferrix. It was like episode 2, I believe, 1 or 2. I think maybe it was even episode 1 of one of the corporate. What are they called? Corporate police dudes. Was eating those classic blue noodles. We're going to be making that right now. And this is going to be my lunch. Thankfully, this is good timing of a show. And we're going to get into it right now. Fouch Facts, welcome back, Hannah. I hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Thank you so much. Couldn't make it last week, but the pancakes looked fun. They were very fun. Were they fun? Hopefully they were. The chat will tell you if it was fun or not. But I had a great time, and I enjoyed lots of pancakes for many days after. So I had a great time. But great to have you here. Blue Noodles Week. I know it was a pretty crazy show, and we got Keith in the chat as well. Fantastic. But let's do it. So I got to remind myself of this process. So before I used glass noodles, if you remember, OG Blue Noodle stream people would remember I used glass noodles. I'm just using like instant pot of noodles this week. Veggie garnish. So I think what we'll do, we're going to make the broth in here. So this is hot water. This was boiling. It's just kind of hot now. But we'll see how we go. We're going to add the flavoring. So it does have flavor. So it's interesting to eat. I try to make this, it's not meant to be super official or super like I'm trying to make it like the show, but just a bit more accessible. So if you ever want to make the blue noodles from Andor, you feel like you can because you've learnt how to do it here. And of course, we're going to add a little bit of. I'm going to add coloring to the water because then the water obviously soaks into the noodles and that makes it blue. Now, if you remember from our Blue Noodle stream, you'll know what I'm holding here. These are the iconic light up, food safe Anakin Skywalker chopsticks I have that fit so well with this Blue Noodle theme. So they're like completely like food safe. They're meant for chopsticks. And this is what we're gonna obviously be eating our Blue Noodles with. Couldn't do it with anything else. So we'll just mix up that flavoring a little bit. I haven't had instant noodles in so long. This smells amazing. Reaction cam, loving chicken Texas, amazing. You guys look amazing. Thank you, appreciate it. Al from LA, welcome, my friend. Thank you for all your wonderful comments on the videos. Now, also, if you didn't know, it's not today. Yesterday, there was a new Best of Star Wars dropping on the channel. The best unhinged Clone Wars characters. One of my favorite. If you saw my Instagram story, it was one of my most favorite ones to do. Because man, are there some unhinged Star Wars characters. Hang on, go do the coloring. But that's live on the channel now if you want to go check that out. Okay. Let's start off with 3 of the drops and then we'll see how we go. Oh wow, that's blue. That is blue. Oh my gosh. Julie, welcome. Welcome. You've made it. You've made it. We're redoing the Blue Noodles as we did a couple of weeks ago. I've got a new and improved like recipe, which I'm gonna be doing today. Man, I got like food coloring in the bowl. Okay, so that's our liquid we got. Then I think we'll put it in the yeah. Oh, wow. What a perfect amount of water. I did not even measure that out. That was immaculate. Okay, so we've got our blue liquid in there. That's looking great. It smells good. Got our blue liquid, and hopefully it turns out... is this... Sometimes Reaction Cam just really struggles a little bit. So I do apologize. Reaction Cam might get a little... a little staggering... What's the word? A little bit jarred, a little bit pixelated for a little bit, but it comes back. He always comes back. Okay, well, I'm just going to let that sit over here for a little while, and we can continue our conversation of predictions. What's going to happen? Cassian's sister. Let's go over this Cassian sister thing. I totally forgot about this character. That's like, let's say that's really legit that she could totally come into the show again. That'd be interesting. Photos 9. Vindia Star Wars story. That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh yeah, love the gang. Oh, the gang's all here. The gang's all here, Julie. Is that right? Love it. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes just give Reaction Cam a bit of patience. Sometimes it takes a second to just catch up to everything that's happening. Reaction Cam. It's been through everything. It's fallen off the stand. It's one show. What show was that? It totally died for a period of the show. One show it just never made an appearance because it was dead. It's gone through a lot, Reaction Cam. It's gone through a lot. Can't be defeated. Cantina, I'm honestly so happy ramen noodles is Star Wars now. It's my favorite food. Yeah, how good. How good. And it's just blue. So yeah, I think I probably could have done that in the like the pot. Like if you were doing this at home, if you wanted the blue noodle, I feel like you could do that straight in the cup. Oh, Reaction Cam's freezing now. Oh, there we go. But just for the purposes of you, so you can see the process, I did it in that clear glass jug so you can see what's happening. I totally forgot as well. I somehow thought she meant Bix. Oh, wait, who? What? Is this a previous comment? Who meant Bix? What? Oh, the sister? Wasn't she confirmed not to be Liveway's mother? Maybe she lied. Yeah, she didn't. Marva did say that something about it. Oh yeah, stop looking for your sister. She's dead. But I was like, yeah, I don't believe it. I love Marva, and I believe I should think she's trustworthy. But I'm like, hang on, Reaction Cam can come back when we're serving up. I think the sister's alive. I think it's for sure alive. When do we get the face reveal for reaction game? At 1 million subscribers. Oh, you thought Bix was his sister? No, I'm pretty sure they have previous romantic connection. Cassian and Bix. Yeah, I don't think it's a sister. So wait, are you streaming until the episode release? We're gonna go as long as we can today. It won't be right up to the episode. But we're gonna go for a couple hours. We still got so many topics to get through and so many things to achieve in the stream. But we're just gonna see how long we're gonna go for. I need more Deidre in my life. Yeah, again, I think she was such an interesting character. Out of the blue of how good she was gonna be, but great actor. I think her character was super interesting. You know, I'm keen for her not to die, really, even though she's like evil, the villain. I'm keen for her not to die because I think she's super interesting. Good day there. Back to you, Commander Apo. They told Luke his father. Yeah, that's good. See, that's a good point. They told Luke his father was dead. Oh, I've heard that. I don't know if I've got the time to discuss that in my stream today, but I did hear that. First, I've heard it as rumors, so I didn't really think about it. But then some pretty trustworthy sources have come out with articles with that, and I was like, oh, okay. Hot goss. Is reaction cam just R2D2's secret sister? Wow, what a story that would be. I love that. That would be cool. Julie, that's what I've been reading. I think a shakeup is needed. So much Star Wars out here to explore. Yeah, you know what? Again, we'll keep it indoors. Like, I want to comment on it briefly of just like, yeah, I think there's just so much change in the way media is going right now. You know, it was a really big transition to go from film franchise, like only a film franchise, to then become a television series and animation series franchise, which, you know, obviously, and, you know, Clone Wars starting 15 years ago. I think the live action part of it is such a different world to the film. And I think there's just a lot more facets of Star Wars media now that is, you know, maybe we need someone who has more experience in both. I don't know. It's a tough one. That one. But yeah, it's too long of a conversation. But maybe I should do another stream about it. Fouch Facts, does anyone think Cassian's droid's conscious will be uploaded to the K2 unit, and that's how we'll get K2S? So yes, I love this theory. I saw it online somewhere. I can't credit where I first saw this, but I saw it on Twitter, and I'm like, that's brilliant. So B2 Emo, that's his name, right? Yeah, his conscious is gonna be in like a chip, like a droid chip, and he goes from B2. Because, you know, he's kind of, the actual droid part of B2 is pretty, like, he's pretty frail, and you can kind of hear him whirring, and he needs to charge a lot and all that kind of thing. But, you know, I think Cassian really loves B2, so I think that would be such a sweet little thing where, yeah, his conscious gets put into a K2 droid, like you've said. And, you know, people are like, oh, but it's a different voice. But it's like, well, the droids have different voices. Like, you can have the same conscious, but if it's in a different droid, if it's in a different sound chip, how do I have... Where I just saw that. How do I have dye all over my hands? What is happening? What? Did I get this everywhere? How? That's really funny. Anyway, lucky I got paper towel this week. But yeah, I think the conscious of the droid could definitely be transferred. I love that theory. And I really got it everywhere. I somehow have it on my face. How does that even happen? Oh my God. What if Dietrich's Andor's long lost sister? Wow. Jeez, that's hot goss. That's a hot theory. You gotta remember that shot from the trailer. It's the last one we haven't seen in the show, with the crowds going against the police on Ferrix. It's gonna be a big win for the rebellion. Yeah, I definitely think this idea of like the climax being on Ferrix and everyone kind of converging and on this one location is a cool theory, and I'm pretty excited to see how it's going to turn out. It's going to be really, really interesting. Right, 100% agreeing. We need a shakeup. I need for my dream girl Pelimoto to get her own short show. She's my girl crush. She's amazing. Pelimoto is phenomenal. She's such a great character. Talk about, like, she just fit into Star Wars so well. So well. Oh, I loved that character. I hope we see her again in like season 3. I hope she becomes like the Mando's like permanent like like assistant or like shipmate. You know, she kind of like, oh no, but they have the N1, don't they now? Oh yeah. If they had the Razor Crest, I would say that. But yeah, I hope she turns up somewhere else again. She's awesome. Yeah, Theory of the Droid, we're agreeing. B2 Emo, we're agreeing with that. I hope Deidre isn't Andor's sister, though. That'd be too cliche and make the galaxy too small. We need big stories with all new folks. That would be too much coincidence. Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's much likelihood they would be related, to be honest. If they're going to remake IG-11 after being blown up in Mando, I believe B2 can be redone. That's a good point. Like, it's the same idea, same trope. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. Deidre is herself is pretty great on her own. Absolutely. Frog Lady is my girl crush. Man, that would look great. That would look phenomenal on a t-shirt. And just like a picture of Frog Lady. Maybe I should make that. Speaking of t-shirts, make sure. I think, actually, you know what? I don't know if it's in the description today, but I'll put it on after the show. You can grab the RaeSide logo t-shirts, and still very soon, hopefully at the end of this week, I'm making an announcement, very exciting announcement in regards to the big drop of shirts I'm going to be dropping on my Teespring over there, Teespring at the RaeSide. So check it out if you're interested. Love Pelimoto. Oh, you guys are coming up with some good ones. This is another. I should just do a whole range. Zero the Hutt's mum is my girl crush. Who's my girl crush? Oh, you know what? Who's my girl crush? Queen Julia, Jar Jar's girlfriend, in like that season 6 or something of Clone Wars. Gee, that was a weird couple of episodes, but that's my girl crush, Jar Jar's girlfriend. That's amazing. I'm just imagining this man pointing me with Cassian, Cinta, Deirdre, and whoever else is going to be there at the funeral. Oh, for sure. That's absolutely what it's going to be. It's just, what? I love that. That's absolutely what it's going to be. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Should we check on these noodles? How's reaction cam going? Oh, still a bit pixelated. He's still struggling over here. Maybe he's just got to adjust for a second. Get with the reaction cam. Come on, man. Any gonk is girl crush. Ooh, looking nice and blue. How cooked are we feeling? As in the noodles, not me. I feel like this could be more cooked. Because that was the problem with that's a pretty vivid blue, though. That's a lovely blue. Like, that's so close to the show blue. I love that. Okay. Again, we're going to have another part of the show where I run away for a second. I'm just going to heat this up a little bit more, just so it's a little bit more tender and more well cooked. So, for Photos Night, you have a theory, type it in the comments, but talk amongst yourselves as I am away for just one moment. Alrighty, happy days. Looking good. Just need a little bit more heat to get nice and tender. The blue makes me nauseous. I love it. Okay. I'm so worried about getting this on my new desk. I'm going to put a bit of paper towel down because I'm absolutely going to spill it. You know what? I'm just going to eat it from the thing. I'm not going to bother with the bowl. Less washing up. Yeah, hang on. Let's set this up here. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I'm telling you, too much emphasis of people being put into a brick. That brick must be thrown tonight. Mob riot. Yeah, for sure. That would be hilarious. But yeah, I definitely think it's gonna get like just absolutely wild on Ferrix tonight. It's gonna be amazing. When I was little, Leia was totally my crush, seeing her on the big screen as 9 years old. Wow. And in the Empire with her hair up, with her white outfit. Wow. She was so pretty, tough, and smart. Yeah, she's the whole package. Probably my gold crush too, actually. I totally agree. I'm a pretty good nerd. I love that, Apo. That's so good. I love it. Fouch facts. I'm kind of disappointed that Cassian isn't in the rebellion yet, at least officially. In Rogue One, he's on one of the top, if not the top, agent for the rebels. Feels like he should have been in by now. Yeah, actually, that's a fair point. I kind of was maybe not expecting, but yeah, kind of anticipating him to be quite involved with the rebellion. Like the show was more about like him in the rebellion doing missions for the rebellion by now, but that's okay. That's okay. We've gotten some great stories with this anyway. Ooh, this is interesting. Interesting. Is this your theory? You heard how Favreau said that Meta Finale is going to be the most insane twist, bigger than Luke, I am your father one, and made and even more than the Revan twist, and also how World Between Worlds is on the horizon. I'm assuming there's more to this. Yeah, here we go. And how Dave and John were especially afraid of calling Baby Yoda, and came up with Grogu. What I really think is Mando's purpose is to transport Baby Yoda through the world between worlds. Wow. And into 1,000 years ago, being Yoda that we know of. Oh my goodness. That is amazing. That is such an interesting thought. That is. You know what? I always felt like World Between Worlds was going to come back in some way, somehow. And that would be an epic way for that to come back. That would be insane. And it's fascinating. The Cake Jeff, are you my new favorite Star Wars channel? Thank you. Nice to see some more female fans that don't just do cosplay. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, I'm not too into the cosplay. I would love to. You might have seen on my Instagram. I did dress up as Leia for the recent Halloween for the podcast Ion Cannon. Check them out if you're interested. But that's the only time I've dressed up in something Star Wars. Oh no, I have like a Jedi robe here and there. But yeah, really, really interesting. I'm hanging. I'm looking at my first Clone Trooper helmet. And what I want, what Clone Trooper helmet do I want, gang? It's a Christmas present from the fam. Ooh, give Julie your Clone Trooper helmet recommendations. I have a mask of Rex up here, but I don't have a helmet either. So I would love a Bo-Katan helmet. Well, you said clone helmet. Maybe a phase, like the phase 1 clone helmet is so iconic to me. I would love a phase 1. But yeah, give her your recommendations, gang. She needs it. What clone trooper helmet should she get? Imagine chucking grandma for a stormtrooper. Okay, I get you, Appo. That'd be funny. Jared, yeah, imagine one of the locals on Ferrix holding a brick that turns out to be his. Yeah, I love how everyone's thought the same joke. That's so good. Go get him, Mom. Oh, I love it. Joel, welcome to the show, my friend. I'm predicting season 2 will have Cassian be part of the rebellion, proper doing rebel missions. Yeah, I think that will be season 2. I thought it was going to be season 1, but now knowing season 1, it's like all the backstory, and then yeah, we'll get that season 2. All right, let's do a quick taste test of these noodles. I've been stirring them for that long. Let's do it. Oh, geez. This is going to, again, I always choose foods that are like really messy to eat. Jeez. Okay, let's do a taste test. Oh, jeez. Tastes like Star Wars. That's good noodles. You don't taste the blue. I wonder if it's going to paint my mouth blue. It'd be funny. Tastes like noodles. Tastes like blue noodles. That's great. I prefer this recipe and method than we did the other show, gang. I think I prefer this better. Leave that in the reaction can because that looks beautiful. Look at it looks like how perfectly presented that. Wonderful. That's delicious. Once I taste test something, I try not to eat it too much on the show because I don't want to turn into like a mukbang. Sevilla, I mean, there's not an organized rebellion yet at this point. The rebel cells call them. Cells are still separated. That's a good point. And I think, that's a lot of the story. It's, they're all kind of not understanding each other and kind of sussing each other out. Very much that's Luthen's character. He's kind of sussing out he's got his inside guy. What's the ISB guy? That's the double agent. I forget his name, but he's got connections everywhere. Luthen's such a good example of that. Just came up with that rewatching Rebels and the way Grogu is so important to the timeline. Ahsoka and Luke, this is some big stuff after all. Yeah, and it's a fair point. You know what? I need to rewatch Rebels. I would be down for that. I need to do that. The World Between Worlds would be a great story to further explore. Yeah, for sure. Because I think its placement in Rebels was like really, like kind of random to me. And it's one of those things in Star Wars where it's like, I think a lot of people will be like annoyed about how random that is. But it's like, no, if you just give it context, give it more explanation and like, more like showtime, it'll make sense to people. These are good. Like, look how blue that is. Hang on, we'll see it better than this. That's so blue. I've nailed this blue. I'm really happy with this. Do I look like the guy in the show as well? When he's like eating it as Cyril walks in again as well. Actually, that's a good point. Another place where this could tie in, and the Ahsoka and Mando show they're quite closely connected. The World Between Worlds will come back in the Ahsoka. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. Okay, Julie, we've seen all the suggestions. 5s, Commander Bly. He's a great guy. He needs more. Man, a lot of people saying 5s. Yeah, the Ahsoka Trooper painting is really nice. I really like that painting. Actually, it's a really good one. I like that. Guys, what is your favorite Star Wars planet? Mine has always been Coruscant as generic as it sounds. No, I'm always tied for Coruscant and Naboo is my top favorite. So I'm super stoked to see so much Coruscant in Andor. Honestly, it's been phenomenal to see. Just the day-to-day workings of Coruscant. It's cool. It's really, really cool. Blue sushi. Wow, that'd be interesting. Love to make that. Omar, you're legend. Love to make that Star Wars food. I can't read properly today. My gosh, love that to make a food Star Wars. Just make a blue. Yeah, right. Like everything's just blue. It's like it's like, hey, can we have like this food on the show? Is it blue? No, make it blue, and then you can have it. It's like, wow, that's all you need. Yeah, this is a great show. Love them blue noodles. It's delicious. I love that. Do X-Wings exist yet in Andor? I would love to see the creation of them and other ships in the season 2 as a big part of the rebellion. Yeah. I mean, I remember there's a couple of episodes where we see in Rebels. I feel like Hondo is like involved in this somehow, but the Ghost Crew like go and get some Y-Wings. Like I feel like that style episode would work well in something. Maybe season 2. Like I feel like that won't happen, but it would be cool to see that. I get what you mean though. Like where they get them, do they find them, do they buy them, do they get given them? Like how do they get? Why is the X-Wing the rebellion ship kind of thing? I like that theory. Man, I can't keep up with all the comments, man. I'm trying to read them all at once. I'm trying to catch up. Noodles look good. Thank you so much. God hungry. Good. That's what this show's about. Tatooine. A lot of people saying Tatooine. Alderaan. I said that weird. Camino. I love it. That's how you know if Star Wars. If it is Star Wars food, it's blue. I love it. I don't totally agree with your comment today about the person who did The Crown and Andor, classy on both fronts. Yes, for sure. Oh my gosh. Actually, thank you for bringing this up again. I would have totally forgot to mention this. I made a tweet about this morning. Well, my this morning would have been your middle of the day. I did a deep dive on the production crew of Andor because the one thing about Andor I've been amazed by is the production quality, like the cinematography, just like the editing, just the lighting, the coloring of episodes. It's been just chef kiss, like incredible. And I was like, who are these people? What are they doing? Why are they so good? And I looked, list of editors, list of cinematographers, blah blah blah. And the main one, I'll say, there's actually a lot more of these people, but the main one is the name of, oh geez, I've already forgotten his name. Adriano Goldman. I think that's his name. Adriano Goldman, I believe. Yeah, I'm confident with that. And he was the lead cinematographer in the show The Crown, obviously about the English monarch, the Queen. And if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about because it's stunning. And Julie, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's like classy. It's so well shot, and it's won multiple awards for, I mean, like for acting and all those kinds of things, but in the characters. But it's words. It's won a lot of awards for its cinematography and editing and production design and all those kinds of things. And a lot of those people that worked on The Crown actually are working on Andor and have worked on Andor season 1 and also will be on season 2, which is just makes so much sense because it's just so clean and so well done, so just maturely done, and it just feels good to look at. And that's why. So yeah, Adriana Goldman, who's the head cinematographer for The Crown, is also one of the lead cinematographers for Andor as well. So it makes sense there. Let me catch up. There's so many comments. You guys are legends today. The Y bombers are Clone War era ships. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Does anyone know when X-wing ships are like? What's the main, time period X-wings are hanging around for? We're celebrating the show ending or the season ending because I'm just happy to be done with the show. Okay, Brad, not enjoying the show too much. Sounds like. But each to their own. That's fair. Not everyone loved this show. There's a lot of slow moments, and I'm not shying away the fact there was a couple of episodes where I really didn't really have much to say. I was like, yeah, that was like an episode. But yeah, today we're just celebrating all the great elements of Andor, like blue noodles and Chandrillan squigs, and also some of the great characters in it. But yet, if you didn't like bits, I agree. That's fair. I didn't like bits either. Love the blue noodles. That's one of the best things from Andor. I love it. We see a lot of Coruscant, but what happened to the Jeddah Temple? I want to see it again after. I want to see it again after episode 3 in live action. Absolutely. Dathomir. I love Dathomir. Love Mother Talzin. Yeah, is that what you're talking about? Yeah. The planet Mother Talzin's from. That's a cool character. She's a cool character. Nerd Cantina. If they don't show Kina Loy being okay, I'm alright. Yeah, I agree with that one. Sure, like I was really shocked they didn't show him last episode. But if he doesn't, like, he better be the one to like show up on Ferrix and like somehow saves Cassian. I don't know how he knows Ferrix, but that'd be cool if he like comes in that kind of way. Finished the Chandra and the Squigs, and I ate the gummy koala we had in there as well. Chewums, sour gummy koalas. Okay. We got to move on to the next part of the show. There's so much to do today, you guys. Hang on, I'm missing something. Alrighty. We're going to move on to the next section of the show, which is talking about the names of Andor. There's been many characters to be introduced to the show. And many of these characters have been evil or good. They've been interesting, good or bad. And one of my favorite parts of Star Wars is really getting hung up on the tiny little things. And one of those tiny little things is the naming of characters. And I love Star Wars, naming of any character, ships, in even planets. So what we're going to do today, I've got a whiteboard about to bring out, and we're going to go through some of the great names of Andor. But I would need you guys to help me out making a list of some of the best names. We'll kind of rank them. We'll kind of talk about how weird they are, how good their names are. So let me take one more bite of the blue noodles, and we'll get into our name game. Okay. Let's do it. What's the coolest helmet in Star Wars? Bo-Katan, for sure. Okay, there's going to be... Hang on, how am I going to do this? There we go, because then I can have it on my right-handed. Okay. Jeez. There we go. There we go. All right, so we're going to put the camera down a little bit so we can... the thing's in the way. Maybe I should do it on my left. I'm going to do it... Oh, jeez. Bear with me. Let's do it on this side. Let's do it on this side. Oh, welcome to the show. You've come at a very chaotic time. Welcome. Welcome, Law. Welcome, Timothy. Great to have you here. Can I die? Might happen. All right, so the name game of Andor. Let me pop up the banner. We're going to run through some of the best names in Andor. Whoop. There we go. There we go. This is not a chaotic show enough. Welcome, DB. Great to have you here. Okay, so I've already got a couple in mind. But I think we're going to have some more. So to start off the things, I don't know what just fell, but I hope it's okay. To start off things with the naming, we're going to go through the most simple name. But this kind of adds to why this show is kind of random, and it's so different to many other shows. Is this the first Tim we have in a show? Okay, so our first odd... let's just say odd Andor names. It has to be Tim. Of course, Bix's weird not weird girlfriend. Bix's weird boyfriend at the start. Ripped him. But he was a weirdo, wasn't he? He was a weird guy. But ripped him. But two M's. Why the two M's? Does that make it Star Wars? Does doubling the letter, does doubling a consonant in your name make it Star Wars? Is Hannah a Star Wars name then? Because I've got two. I've got double the double consonants. Does that make me more of a Star Wars character? Grief Kurgo. That's a good point. So Keith Gergo. See, okay. This is where I'm going to have issue because there's three names that all sound similar. So Cassian's, this was Cassian's like fake name. What was it? Was it? Yeah. So Keith, and his last name was like, I thought was it with a C? Kurgo. You know who else has a weird name? Andor, which actually, let's talk about this guy, Andor Krieger, who we've spoken much about, but have no idea who is. Andor Krieger, that's a pretty Star Warsy name, to be honest. That's a pretty Star Warsy name. But let me know in the chat, Marva. You know what? Marva is like, that's iconic because it's like, it's just like Mother. I'm pretty sure that's what they were trying to achieving. So it's like, that's another Star Wars, Super Star Wars thing to like, it's the name of something that it's like, it's the word of what it is, but just slightly sounds a little different. Marva's one of them. Marva. You know who else has a weird name? If you all remember the character from the very start, probably I think it was episode 2. It was these two guys that came up to Cassie and was like, "Hey, like, have you got the money for us?" And his big alien friend was there. Velch. Anyone remember this guy? Velch. Velch. Velch sounds I feel like you got to say it. You can't say it with like an Australian accent. I feel like you got to say it with like a German accent. Velch. But I feel like that character didn't have a German accent, but I feel like you got to say his name with a German accent. Velch. Wow, Velch. I like the way he says it. The way he says it. Partagas? Yeah, Major Partagas that's a cool name. That's a good name. Clem. Antor Krieger. That's better. Is that how you spell it? I spelled it with a Y. Krieger. See, it's the spelling. Let's try and get this spelling down. Like, jeez. Antor Krieger. Gregor, you are dish boy. Only real fans know that reference. I love that. Welcome. Wow, I can't even. What is this name? Oh, Auden Jello. I feel like I butchered that, but welcome to the stream. We're going through the weird names that we got from Andor. And Tim has to be on the top there. Marva, yeah, we got Marva. That was a weird name. Yeah, so okay, there's so many names that sound similar. So Keith Kurgo. I think it was a K. I feel like it wasn't a G. I think Keith. See, again, it's like they've just taken Keith. Shout out to Keith M in the chat. They've just taken Keith and used an F. Keith Kurgo. I don't know why I keep putting that accent on. But what's so there's Antor Krieger, Keith Kurgo, and Grief Karga. Who's Grief Karga? Wait, am I getting confused here? Grief Karga. Why am I getting so lost with these names? That's true. Luke, Owen, and Ben are pretty simple names. We're just brainstorming the weird ones, and then we might make a top 10, perhaps. Yeah. Now, Grief Karga is the man to go. Well, that's where I get confused because how close is Keith Kurgo to Grief Karga? And then there's also Antor Krieger. So Kurgo, Krieger, and Karga. Let's go. Can someone sympathize with me? That's insane. So in 3 totally different characters, we have Kurgo, Grief Kurgo, Antor, who we'll hopefully see tonight, Krieger, Kurgo, Gurko. No, hang on. Keith. That's Cassian. This is Cassian's alias name. Keith Kurgo. Then it's, which is that. And then we got Antor Krieger. And then in Mandalorian, we have Grief Karga, which I think it's a C. I don't think that's how you spell it. But how close are those 3 names? Isn't there different letters we could be using? Go. Is it G? Am I just saying that wrong? Melchi. Melchi's a great name, actually. Melchi is a good name. Keith. Okay, I'll concede on that one. So you're saying it's with a G. Keith Gergo. Man, I need to hear Cassian say it. Still, my gosh, do these names sound the same? Action cam, you're wigging out too much for me. There we go. You probably can see that better. Keith Gergo, Antor Krieger, and Grief Karga. How similar are those names? I feel like I piped on this far enough. Is there any other names we're missing? Tim with 2 M's, an icon, rip him. Antor Krieger, which we've spoken about for many episodes but haven't met yet, but hopefully we'll meet him tonight. Marva, which is of course just mother, but with a V. And Velch. Love that guy. The aliens hassling Cassian for his money. Anto. Oh, have I added an R? My apologies. Anto Krieger. You know what? I think that sounds a bit better. Anto Krieger. That's Andor. Yep, Andor. That still gets my parents. They still get confused on that one. Cassian does, according to Cassian, middle names is actually that was a part of the Cassian trivia we had for the countdown for the premiere. Man, what is falling? I don't know what is falling off. There's something falling off behind me. There we go. What was the Banes? What was the Banes of the 2 creatures? Oh, the names. Sorry. What was the names of the 2 creatures in episode 9 that freed Andor and Melchi? They did have names. Chat, help me out here. Chat, answer Julie's question while I just pop this to the side. What was their names? Do you know their names? It was like Freed, Feed, and like Bono or something. Something like that. Well, welcome to the stream if you're only just tuning in. We're still hanging out. We're still having a good time. Living up our fondest memories of Andor as we come closer and closer to the finale. I'm still going to tuck into my Blue Noodles reaction cam. Get back in here. How good. Tuck in. Oh, well, Skeen. Oh, the Skeen. His name was pretty good. That was a good name, Skeen. He did have a good name. Should I make another squigs? I'm down for another squigs. If you missed it the first time. Non-alcoholic. Lovely. Have I played Star Wars The Old Republic? Notice a lot have in the chat. No, I haven't. But that can change. But the next thing we're going to talk about, hang on, we've got to add our, this is our squigs recipe if you haven't. So we've got lemon, we've got mango nectar, and of course, our Australian squig, which is a koala bear gummy. That was a satisfying plop, wasn't it? Happy days. Cheers. Love Andor. I love it. Hannah, to be honest and fair, being a part of your show is truly the highlight of my week. They are just so fun and different. Thank you so much. Me being a part of your week is the highlight of my week. This is so fun. I have such fun doing this. If you can tell, I try. It's very planned. Oddly, this is very planned, but the chaos that happens isn't that planned, actually. But I love doing these streams. It's very, very good fun. But with the questions of, just before we get more into Andor, I will mention that tomorrow, now if you were here last week, you'll know what I'm about to say. Tomorrow is the debut of a brand new thing coming to the channel. RaeSide Gaming live on YouTube Wednesday nights is starting tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and that's 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be an amazing time. So come over. If you like Star Wars gaming, I'll probably start off with some Battlefront, maybe some Lego Star Wars as well, see how we get on. And we'll be doing that tomorrow at those times. So make sure you tune in for that. Even if you're not into gaming, the whole time I just ramble on and on about many, many things. So it's going to be a great time. So make sure on the channel tomorrow. So it's 2 hours before our usual show. So, our live shows on a Tuesday is at 7 p.m. But tomorrow gaming is at 5 p.m. Pacific time and 8 p.m. Eastern time. And you can translate that to wherever you are in the world. Yeah, let's talk more about Andor. More about Andor. It's gonna be phenomenal. New shirt designs. Actually, yeah. That's still coming. I can't say much more, but I have been working. It's been quite full on getting these designs for you all. Can't wait to. I won't say anymore, but fingers crossed. If you're enjoying the conversation we had just before about favorite planets, you're gonna like these designs. So, end of this week, start of next week, there will be a very exciting announcement for all those designs. It's gonna be amazing. In English, baby names, the meaning of Andor is brave, manly, famous bearer, the famous bearer of Prince Andrew. Okay, there you go. The 2005 or 2050, 2051. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that one. Battlefront 2 sports support cancellation is still one of the saddest moments in Star Wars gaming. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's still so playable. It's still so good. It's still so good. I still got wrecked early on Battlefront 2. I love it. I love it. Hannah, does this stream and your gaming stream count as viewer hours towards soups? Yes. Live streams? Yes, live streams do. I don't know what does. I think shorts don't. I think that's the thing that doesn't, but live streams do count to watch hours. Correct. You know that weird dude that FaceTimes Cyril. What's his name? He's just kind of awkward. Yeah, who's that guy? What's his name? That he's like that Scottish guy. And he's just like super enthusiastic about everything. That was funny. I enjoyed seeing him last episode. That was fun. Now, did we all decide who we think's gonna die? Who do we think is gonna die in the episode? Or is anyone gonna die? Is everyone gonna die? That's the question. Loving these blue noodles. This is a great Star Wars treat. Oh yeah, challenge accepted. I'll be doing that at some time. You got it. Gradient Aliens found it. Episode 11. One is called. How would we pronounce that? Dewey. That's a cool name though. I like it. Oh, thank you, Sin City. Man, the support is so appreciated. I really, really appreciated it. That's an interesting one. Luthen's assistant. So, Claire? Yeah, Claire. Yeah, she's an interesting character. Has anyone else gotten from Claire a bit of a evil vibe? Like, I don't think she's good. Like, I think she's a double agent for the Empire. Yeah, for sure. Diaz, 80% of Ferrix folks will die. I honestly think everyone will survive. Marva's death was enough. What if she's not dead? But yeah, I think she might be dead though. Okay, Law thinking. I think either Velo Center is doomed. Fair enough. Huey, Louie, and Dewey. It would be funny if Andor died and destroyed the camp. That'd be random, wouldn't it? If B2EMO dies, I cry. You know what? I think I like this whole conscious concept that his droid conscious gets like maybe B2 dies. It's gonna be a really sad thing, but then his conscious gets taken out of his droid body because again, his body like that droid. He's not running well. He's like charged. It's like having an iPhone for too long. It's like you love it. You've had it for so long, but it's like it doesn't charge long enough. It doesn't hold charge. It's like you kind of love it. But when you get a new iPhone, you just take all the things that were on your iPhone and put it into the new one, and it's like, oh, this is all my things. That's okay. I think that could happen. I think that's what's gonna happen. Yes, you with me, Julie? I never liked the assistant either. She was sasso. She was weird. She was just, I don't know. She's gonna eat a bullet to protect him. Yeah. Perhaps. Thank you, Marcelo. Hopefully. That would be devastating if true. Law, I actually think Clay would be a key player later in the show. Yeah, like it's either she's gonna be evil or it's like, yeah, she's just like really important for this rebellion. And these look so blue on camera. Like they're not that blue in person. They look so blue on camera. I wouldn't trust that assistant to even make blue noodles. Burn. That's a good burn. Yeah. Velo Center, B2MO, the Imperial guy and Ferrix who wanted a title die. Yeah, that dude. That dude was annoying. He was just a bit of a dick. Luthen is a sneaky do whatever it takes guy who'll sacrifice anyone, anytime to further the cause. Diaz, if Luthen's assistant is a plant, that would be disastrous. She knows too much. Luthen would be dead by then. That's a good point. They would have taken all that information. They wouldn't have hung around, like let him go as long as he has. That's a good point. Law. I saw that when the trailer first came out. I was like, oh, that's Leia. It's Leia. It's like, no, that's not. She's a bit too. Leia's only 16. No, 14. 14 in Andor. She's only 14. It's like Leia's not 14. She's kind of like a co-founder with Luthen in a way. She's just as hands-on. She's spy material. She gives off them "don't trust me" vibes. Yeah, and you know what, Luthen doesn't even, it's like he's a good guy, but it's like sometimes it's hard to trust him. It's hard to believe him, really. Captain Panaka at number 3. Number 2 is Leia, and number 1 is Ahsoka. Photos 9. Andor season 1 was overall very interesting Star Wars content. With that said, I still think there should have been a lot more in season 1 to warrant a season 2. Bad Batch season 2. Now that's hype. Yeah. Just like, it's so exciting. So, obviously this is our last like Andor themed, where it's like the show is based on like the show that we're watching in Star Wars, but when there's no show in Star Wars, we're just having chats about random Star Wars things. So yeah, like next week's show here on the RaeSide, it's like it's just a free for all of any Star Wars conversation. So it's a really, really fun time. But we only get to do that for like 6 weeks, really. 6 shows, and then we're into the Bad Batch, and we're doing Bad Batch stuff. So it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait for Bad Batch season 2. Julie, I do predict Cyril will survive and wear a totally different uniform next season. He's such a worm working up the ladder. Interesting. So saying Cyril's going to survive this one? Yeah, I think if he was going to die, I think it'll be at the hands of the ISB. I have that theory. What if Luthen is a double agent? Luthen would kill her in a heartbeat if she was a spy. Or rolled on him. I don't think you guys are seeing him for how cold-hearted and dedicated he is. Yeah, he fully is. Hey, he is, and we definitely get that in only the past episode and 2, where he was just brutal. And that speech he gives to, I forget that, the redhead mustache guy that is the double agent for the rebellion for the ISB. That guy, he gives that speech and it was just so intense. He's just in summation, it was just like, I don't care about a single thing, let alone myself, if it's not to do with the rebellion. It's all for the rebellion. It's like, wow, this guy is committed. There's so much deeper to him we don't see. Remember, we don't know anything about him or his motivation, and I think that's purposeful. He's practical. Luthen is like a general who's making hard decisions of whether to send 1,000 men to die to distract the enemy while thinking of the big picture. It's gut-wrenching but grounded. Thank you, Shane. It's I've made this is a combination of like like lemonade, essentially lemonade and mango nectar. This is this combination. It does kind of look like pineapple soda or like pineapple juice. I do give you that though. I'm a big fan, but it looks exactly like it. But thank you for stopping by, my friend. Appreciate it. Ooh, if Claire thought it mattered to promise, she would say the message is from. It's as if there's a reason Vel would think she wouldn't want Luthen to appreciate Vel or give attention. Yeah, that's a good point. Like that whole kind of she kind of gatekeeps Luthen from Vel, which is kind of weird. Does anyone think Vel and I think Vel and Luthen are related. Oh no, Vel and Mon Mothma are related. Wow, I debunked my own theory in about 2 seconds. Great. But I did think they were related, but she's related to Mon, so that can't work. Cyril's mum is gonna die. For real, in the last episode, there was that scene straight after the like Zoom call that Cyril had with his friend. And he like is storming through the house, and like his mum has just like been like, "Oh, you can like shut up now," and it's like was mean to him. And then Cyril starts like storming through the house, and I was like, "He's gonna kill her! Like he's walking to go kill this woman." And I was so shocked that it didn't happen in that scene. So, like, perhaps I don't think so. Like, it won't really aid in the overall story, I feel, but it's like you know what? It might show that like Cyril's serious and he's kind of gone insane. Maybe if that happens, that'd be interesting. Shane, I have a theory that Luthen was a Jedi Temple guard. Ooh, that's an interesting one. That's cool. I'd like to hear that fleshed out. That's an interesting one. Votus Knight, and right after Bad Batch, Ahsoka, Jedi Survivor, Mando. Lando, them 2023 actually sounds wizard. Yeah, man, it sounds so good. I think you're also missing. I believe Skeleton Crew is actually going to come out next year as well. I don't think Acolyte. Acolyte's one of my most anticipated shows. I'm really keen for. Yeah, Bad Batch, Ahsoka. I think like chronologically, I think it'll go Bad Batch, Mando, Jedi Survivor, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew. But the Lando, what do you mean by Lando? Like the Lando? The Lando show's not coming next year. What are you talking about, man? Julie BT Diaz, your theory on Luthen reminds me of the Turncoat Jedi general in Clone Wars. He didn't care about how many clones died for his point. Yes, I think we're referring General Ponkrell. That guy was unhinged. He should be in my unhinged video. If you haven't checked it out, it's such a good time to play. Haven't checked it out? Most unhinged Clone Wars characters videos up now on the channel. Check it out right now or straight after the stream. That was a really fun video. I enjoyed putting that together. Joel, I like the idea of Luthen only appearing in Andor and in nothing else. I think it adds to his mystique as the spy master who did this one important thing, but we don't know anything about it. Yeah, I totally agree. And I think as much as it's like frustrating, it's like, oh, we don't know enough about like Luthen yet. Like, what's his deal? We don't know him. I totally agree. I think that's the overall picture. Like, that's the effect we get. With like, he's just this guy that just like did all these intense things, and he's just kind of he died or he disappeared or whatever. And I think, yeah, it's key that we don't know too much about his past. And I agree. I don't think we will see him in anything else or like, beyond Andor. I really like that concept. Totally agree with you. Tackles Holocron. Welcome to the show. I think Deirdre is going to kill Cyril in this episode. It's outrageous. It's unfair. Cyril is literally me. Yeah. It is funny that his name is so close to what he eats. That is hilarious. Yeah, his mum is kind of narky. I mean, I wouldn't say killer, but like she's annoying. I get that. Yeah. Okay. So maybe do people agree that he's got to kill his own mum? Which there's a really weird dynamic there. Yeah, that's what it's like. I feel like Cyril is gonna go insane because, like, I was saying this before, where it's like I'm not buying into his reasoning of like losing his job and why he's so upset about it. Like, I understand you like would be mad, but it's like, what? Like, really this upset about it? But it makes sense. If it's like he kind of just goes a bit off the rails, like he kind of just goes a bit insane. But that's really yeah, it is a weird dynamic there. Very weird dynamic. Julie asking the real questions. Who is Uncle Harlow? I'm staying awake at night because of this question. Who is Uncle Harlow? We're gonna get the whiteboard again. Oh my god. Let's get the whiteboard again for this. Hang on. Who is Uncle Harlow? Have we met him? Is he a character we already know? We're getting the whiteboard. This has the same energy of that meme of that guy with the whiteboard. Okay. Let's work through this methodically. Who is Uncle Harlow? Also, I don't like cereal being in Star Wars. It's cool. It was kind of cool looking cereal though. Okay. So we got Uncle Harlow. Okay, we got Uncle Harlow. Uncle Harlow is funny. There's no need for him to be a character we actually see yet. It seems like we are supposed to be curious about which many are. Yeah, I'm the one of the which many, if you can't tell. Okay, so if he's just a random character, it's just a random character. But indulge with this theory for me for a moment. I feel like we've met Uncle Harlow. We just don't know he's Uncle Harlow. So option 1. Use a different color. On the road to who is Uncle Harlow. Option 1. Get this. Luthen. What if Luthen is Uncle Harlow? And he knows that. Okay, I'm forming the theory as we go. He knows that Cyril knows about Ferrix and about Andor, but Cyril doesn't know that Luthen is involved with the rebellion and like was involved with all that. Bear with me. So Luthen, the whole storyline, it was so fleshed out where it's like, Uncle Harlow's going to help you. He's going to like help you get off Ferrix, do all this stuff. So Luthen is like on Coruscant. He's like, he knows a lot of people. He's like that art dealer. He meets a lot of people. He probably has a lot of connections in the Bureau of Standards. And probably thought, you know what, I'm going to put Cyril, because he knows stuff about Ferrix. I'm going to put him somewhere really boring, really dry, just a random pocket thing where he's busy, but he can't be talking to people about Ferrix or anything. So then Luthen puts Cyril into the standards. And then, because the whole thing of like Luthen's been trying to, Cyril's been trying to contact, but like, the Bureau Standards don't care. And like, he's trying to keep going with it. I think Luthen could be Uncle Harlow. Option 2. Is there an option 2? I don't know if I have an option 2. Who could be another option? If he's related. If we've seen Uncle Harlow, who is he? He's in the underworld. Okay. You know what? I'm going to write that down. I'm just going to put underworld crime lord. Okay. That's option 2. Underworld crime lord. Crime lord. This is so funny. Harlow / Luthen. Uncle Harlow Tarkin. Oh my god. This is Now we've got a list. Now this is a list. Imagine, actually, you know what? That's actually a cool one. I like who said that? Who said Tarkin? Where did I just see that? Chicken Texas, man, that's brilliant. Tarkin. That's a good one. I like it. That's a theory. I love it. Davos. Also, I feel like people are mispronouncing. His name is David. Like if you see in the excuse me. If you see in the subtitles, his name is Davo, but his last name is like Skuldrin. But it says so quickly, Davos Skuldrin. So it sounds like his name is Davos Cauldron, but it's actually Davos Skuldrin. It's like Davos space Skuldrin. I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Is that your guess? Is that your prediction, Davos? I'll put in brackets S just in case that's right. Could be Davo. Hulk could just be some old fat dude in the middle management type job, working his desk job in HR for the Empire. You know what? That's not exciting to consider. But it's the most likely, yes. I did a very minimal amount of research, but apparently in Star Wars Legends, there's a moth named Harlow. That's giving me Tarkin vibes. That's giving me Tarkin vibes. There we go. Here's a theory. Darth Uncle Harlow Maul. Oh, I love it. Tarkin. Good point. Tarkin would totally make Wormy Cyril take Wormy Cyril up the ladder. Yes, because Cyril is moving on up. Absolutely agree. What do you know who said that before? It was a Sin City. Oh no, Law. Yeah. Do you know? Was it from a book or a comic? Give us the source. I want to get into it. It'll be interesting. That's an interesting thought. The name Hello. There you go. Is this the like the what's it called? Like Urban Dictionary definition? I love that. Remember where we all thought Snoke was Plagueis? Yeah, no. You know what? Did I spell that right? I think I did. I did spell it right. That's okay. That's it. I'll put a question mark with that one. I don't think that's gonna work. That one. Oh, I love this. I love this. Tarkin. Tarkin is my boy crush. I love it. He's from a comic. Okay, cool. Thank you, Law. Thank you. Appreciate it. Snoke is Harlow. Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Reaver the Wise? Oh, dude. Mace Windu, but changed his name. Insane. See, look at that. That's a list. How excited, how much am I building you guys up for a disappointment if we don't meet Uncle Harlow this episode? Oh, Mad Maxwell, welcome to the show. You've come at a chaotic point. We're figuring out who on earth is Uncle Harlow. We're talking predictions. Yeah, we're talking predictions. We'll kind of have to, we'll have a bit of a wrap up in a little while as well. But yeah, feel free to join the conversation. I love it. The negotiator Harlow is Ray's grandfather from the mum's from the mum's side. Brackets. This is so fun. This is so good. Mace Windu. Uncle Harlow is Hondo Onaka. That's Onaka. What did I just say? Hondo Onaka. No, that's his name. Mon Mothma's hub. Oh, Perrin. Is does he would have the same last name? Is he Perrin Mothma? Perrin is Uncle Harlow, and he has like a secret. Nah, surely. You know what? I love how I say nah to that, but like Mace Windu and Plagueis is on here, but I'm like, no, not Perrin. I love this. Pepe Sylvia. I'm still waiting for a show about Darth Jar Jar versus Darth Vader between 3 and 4. Oh yeah, for sure, it's coming. Galen Urso. Actually, you know what? That's one of the least insane ones, actually. You know what? Actually, Krennic. Can I one up you there a little bit? Can I jump on board your idea? Krennic. That's like a plausible. That's not a bad one. Krennic. Hence the fact there was a lot of favors. Why is there so many favors? That's such a good point, Julie. And is a guy giving Luthen info he could be the younger bro of the mum. The who? Who are you talking about? Explain that again. But if I was a 5-year-old, I think, yeah, I think I get you. Galen Harlow, or so he's middle name. I love that. Perrin Further, that's his name. I wonder why they have different names. K Gee, welcome to the chat. What is Krennic's first name? Orso? I think it's Orso. Orso Krennic. O-R-S-O. Orso Krennic. I think that's his name. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. The eyes being for. Okay, yeah. He could be the younger brother. What did you say before? He could be the younger brother of the mum. Ooh, there's a theory. There's a theory. Orson. Oh, I missed a letter. So, how was that? How did I just detract a letter? Not also Orson. That's really funny. Thank you. Yeah, Orson. It sounds like I'm saying awesome when I say Orson. I don't know if that's it. I like Krennic. Yeah, see, Krennic, like if we're going on looks, like I can kind of see a little bit of similarity. Like if let's do one of those face merges. Let's merge Krennic's face with Cyril's mum's face. I think that would look a lot like Cyril. Just saying. Just saying. Orson Harlow Krennic sounds awesome. Yeah, it sounds like I'm saying awesome Krennic. Awesome Krennic. Oh, dude, wow. That's well, this is a good list of things. I'm you know what? Should we try and do percentages on likelihood? I feel like that's too hard. They're too wild. They're too wild. But this was a good list. Let me try and balance that. Great. Fantastic. Oh, what a weird show this took. What a weird turn this took. Wow. What a show. What a show. I need more Krennic in Star Wars. He was one of the best in Rogue One. Yeah, totally agree. Rewatching Rogue One just before Andor came out. And yeah, I really love Krennic. He's a great character. Oh, I should have added that. Could be Kino Loy. That's a good theory. I like that. Mason Players are out, in my opinion. Eliminate them. You never know. You never know. He's Mr. Mosby because I'm watching Zack and Cody right now. Oh, this show. Let's talk about final predictions. We'll kind of start to go on the wrap up a little bit here. As I wrap up these blue noodles. These are delicious. Final predictions and final thoughts and overview thoughts of the show as a whole. I'll start off with a bit of a overview of what I've been saying, but I will say in the next, so not tomorrow, not Wednesday, but Thursday. It was in my post I made on YouTube. Thursday I'm going to come out with a season review, but I'll give you a bit of a insight into what my season review has been so far. I have enjoyed looking forward to Andor week by week, and I think there was a lot of things in the episodes that made me really go, oh, wow, oh, that's different. Oh, that's really interesting. I did a lot of that watching this show. Come back, photos night. But there's also some parts of the show that didn't fully connect with me. I can't say I didn't like or I, hated or disliked. But it's just there was some ideas and concepts that I just didn't connect with, and I'm just like, yeah, they're there, but I didn't super connect with it. But the things I love about this show really outweigh that. I love the style, the cinematography, the look of it all. I really like a lot of the characters. I think were very interesting and complex and weren't just plucked out of a stereotype. I think a lot of the characters had a lot of different facets. Think of Luthen and even people like Cyril. Like it's kind of, what stereotype do you put him under? It's kind of hard, but I really like the characterization of a lot of these characters. And I just like seeing the underworldness of Star Wars and seeing a planet like Ferrix, the day-to-day happenings of people in Star Wars. Because I think deep down we all want to be that. We all want to be that, just like town, whether we want to be a Jedi or whatever. We would love to just live on a planet in Star Wars and be there and live that. So I think to see that very like almost like real world, like day-to-day life of Star Wars people under the Empire and how rough that is really, really interesting. It's really, really fascinating, and I've enjoyed all the Ferric stuff we've gotten. I've loved that. And the sound, like all the extra parts of the production of the show, the soundtrack was amazing. The script writing was pretty amazing with this show as well. There's a little bit of pacing issue I had, but I mean, I feel like everyone has that with every show, because everyone has different like subjectivity of what they want. Some people want a really slow show. Some people want a really slow drama, like like a show like The Crown. It's a very slow show. But some people like the action. Some people like the fast pace. Some people like fast pace but no action. Some people like more action, but it can be slower. Like it's so subjective. So it's pretty easy to say, the pacing wasn't spot on for me. So it wasn't super spot on for me. But again, it didn't really I wasn't ever like mad enough to be like, I'm not going to watch it, or I'm not excited for it. I found every week on a Wednesday, I was getting really, really keen for the show and very, very excited. Overall, I'm going to leave any more thoughts and kind of critiques of it for the review video coming out in a couple of days of the season. But that's my initial thoughts and my initial comments about the season overall so far. And not to mention the amazing acting as well. I think seeing Andy Serkis acting in live action was just phenomenal. Loved that. Didn't know I needed that. I loved that. And also, Cassian, Diego Luna, Bix, I always forget her actor's name, Adriana. They're just phenomenal actors. I think that overall, like Genevieve O'Reilly, just everyone overall has done an incredible job acting this show. I have to say that. Now let's get into a couple of your comments. I've seen a lot of people making some comments. What am I talking about? So let's take a look. Where do we get up to? Nerdy Cantina. I love the grittiness of Andor. I'd love to see what they could do with the Sith and the Jedi and possibly a Darth Vader story. Yeah, I think that's a good point. The one thing this show has made me think of is, like, take this quality of production, the quality of the cinematography, of the acting, of the just everything production-wise, take that quality and just keep putting it to Star Wars, other Star Wars stories, to a Vader story, to other Jedi. Like, I hope Acolyte has the same treatment where it's really quite high quality content and high caliber production team. Not that Kenobi or Boba wasn't, but I had more issues of production quality with those ones. Where I never once in Andor been like, this is a little cheap looking. I never once thought that in Andor, which is, I think, is different. The acting in this show can battle with some of the best. Yeah, totally agree, Laura. Totally agree. Great acting. Okay, so a couple of thoughts coming up. Luthen dies, cementing Andor's place in the rebellion. He's the mentor figure in Andor's hero's journey, and Andor needs motivation to join up, and Luthen did save and bring him in. Yeah, that's a good way. I think Luthen will either die this episode or next season. We'll see. I think they should mix acting. They should mix acting and writing of Andor with everything else in Star Wars. That'd be the best choice. Yeah, totally agree. I think that's what I was trying to say. It's like, there's something about this production quality that is just so good. I would have loved to see Kenobi have this level of production quality. It's like one of my main gripes in my head is like, oh geez, like if just some of the shots in Kenobi would just look so cheap and not amazing, but the show itself was like had all that internal amazing storyline. So yeah, I totally agree. I think going forward that would be the best thing to do. How much screen time does Andor have in the Star Wars universe versus, say, Luke, Anakin, even Din Djarin? Point being, who's the most pivotal character in Star Wars? Why does Andor get the most screen time in total? I believe that you're talking about before you were like, I got a controversial question. I think is that the controversial question? Because yeah, yeah, it's a good question. I think definitely something we've got to keep in mind is that this live action Star Wars has only been around for a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, kind of plus planning, but really 3 years. It's such a new concept to present a Star Wars TV show. And I think from the get, like every day they're learning something more. Like I think they've learned so much from Andor. And I think they learned so much from Boba and so much from Kenobi and from Mando. And I think we're seeing the tweaks of like maybe things that lagged in like Mando Mando season 1, which isn't many. There wasn't many mistakes in that show. It was a pretty good season. And you see it tweaked of like how concentrated on world building they are, how concentrated on character building, how concentrated on of the story, the depth of the story. Like I really feel like we're in this period of growing pains with how they're working on that and how they're having to develop that. So it's a fair question. It's like, well, why, like with the minutes added up, Andor gets more screen time. It's like, well, I think just because this is a new age of storytelling for Star Wars media. So I think, but naturally, it's that he's going to have more screen time. It doesn't. I don't think it reflects on like why is he more important. I don't think it reflects to that question. I think it's more of a this is a new media that we're still exploring and still so early into. We're still exploring it. I still think I'm hoping for like a Luke Skywalker Jedi School show, like, and then, he'll get more minutes, as a main character. But yeah, that's a good question, DB. I would love to hear everyone's kind of takes on that. That's a deep one. It's a deep one. I totally remember how excited you were for this, but then a couple episodes stopped your excitement. Then your excitement picked up again after Kino and built up. Right or wrong? You're pretty right. You're pretty right. And oddly, to even my surprise, the middle episodes of the heist, as much as the heist episode itself, where they actually go to the vault and all that stuff, like that was a pretty intense and amazing episode. The middle part of the season, again, it was like, this is good. I will watch this every week. I look forward to watching the next one. But I didn't feel jumping for joy that this is incredible. So you're really spot on there, Julia. I think you've read that well. I think I'm excited for any new Star Wars project. And I'm excited again now because I think I have a bit more understanding of the purpose of Andor. Where maybe mid-season I didn't, perhaps. Maybe, yeah, I think. Law, I think it's fascinating how the first showrunner to actively say he doesn't like Star Wars and doesn't care about it made the most law-consistent show of the Disney era. Yes. Yeah, I'm kind of it's so hard because it's like I respect Tony Gilroy so much and I think he's a fantastic storyteller. And I've said before where it's like this Andor as like a show is like a 9 out of 10 for me. As a Star Wars show, it's like a 6 out of 10. But I'm still personally defining what is Star Wars. Why am I saying, oh, it's not Star Wars enough? Like, why am I saying that? Like, is it because of lightsabers? Is it because of the Force? Is it because of the types of characters? Is it the types of stories? Is it the types of journeys they go on? Like, what is Star Wars? So it's like, yeah, it's hard to be like, I kind of naturally want to be like, oh, yeah, it still just wasn't Star Wars-y enough for me. But it's like, oh, firstly, what is Star Wars? But yeah, I appreciate your opinion there. It's a good take. It's a good take. I welcome a plot for change and to see other aspects of people in that big universe. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Appreciate that, Al. Appreciate it. It's awesome you're doing a watch party. Can you you put all your videos into a playlist so we can get your watch hours up higher? What does that mean? How do I do in a playlist? in terms of what playlist, because I've got a playlist for the best of Star Wars series, and I've got a playlist for the best live shows. What kind of playlist are you talking about? But yeah, I didn't know that's how to do it. That's the way to do it. Appreciate it though. Thank you. I think Nemec will end up being Endor's inspiration, not Luthen. Well, we did see he still has his manifesto, so that's interesting. Mad Maxwell, I think they can learn from the acting and the story about non-Force users and characters and combine the ideas with Tales of the Jedi to make a slice of life show, maybe Tales of the Bounty Hunters. Yeah, I'm really hoping that all the great, amazing feedback they got from Tales of the Jedi, they'll continue to do like a Tales of the Sith, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales of the, underworld, like Tales of the crime lords, underworld lords or whatever. Tales of the Black Sun, Tales of Crimson Dawn. There you go. See, I feel like they really can apply this to so many other things. I would love to see that. I agree. Time for the most boring show. Oh, there you go. That's okay. It's your opinion. I'll be curious to see Meta season 3 compared to season 1 and 2. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. Gonna be really, really interesting. I think it's gonna have a different feel. Because season 2 to season 1 of Mando was quite a big jump, I found, of style. But it's I think it'll still be and I think this will be a jump as well. I think it'll be a jump as well to season 3. Sin City Sith. I ought to make a compilation of all the things you've painted, cooked, created on these shows and look back at it on someday when you just smile at the homey family feeling it is now. Oh, I never want it to change. I never want that feeling to go. I hope it's always a homey and family feeling. It's meant to be very that like homemade Star Wars feel. That's the feel I'm going for. But I appreciate it. And maybe I will. Maybe I will make a bit of a compilation of I've made some crazy things. Second season of Andor would have solidified screen time being more than any other character ever. Yeah, but again, I think it's so early in this world of live action that I don't think it's too. I don't think that's a negative thing. Like that like we're gonna still getting more characters, more shows. Hannah can easily have hunger. So, oh, jeez, thank you. One can dream, which I think she sort of knows it and sort of is ramping up for. Someday I'll write a full screen comment for her. That's so nice. I'm just here for love and Star Wars. Like a lot of people say that, and I just comment that because that's what it literally is. Again, it's like homemade Star Wars. Like this is just with my phone is reaction cam and my laptop, and I'm just making Star Wars things, which I do in my own time anyway. So this is all it is. But thank you. I really appreciate that support and that belief. I really appreciate that. We just made a whiteboard brainstorm of who is Uncle Harlow, and you have faith that that's gonna. I'm the one to reach 100 subs. But no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I agree. Andor is probably the most important Star Wars story probably made because of how it's explaining the creation of the Rebel Alliance. Yeah, it's one of the the Rebel Alliance is right up there with I think Jedi and Sith stories for me. It's really interesting. Force Ghost Anakin and White Robes would be amazing. That would be amazing. Mm-hmm. 12 episodes broken into first arc 1 to 3, second arc 4 to 6. Heist is 7. 4 to 6 is the heist. Then 7 is a transition episode. The third arc is 8 to 10, and finale 11 and 12. Yeah, so isn't it interesting? I honestly think the heist was my least favorite of those episodes. I don't know what that means, but isn't that interesting? Star Wars to me is good versus bad, which at its core, both Andor and the rest of Star Wars. Yeah, definitely. I think that's a very Star Warsy trope. I think that's a very Star Warsy thing. Good versus evil, and the in between. Also, I know I'm a couple minutes delayed on all these questions, but I'm trying to catch up. You all have such amazing ideas. Just yeah, that's true. You know what? This could be a double. You could be talking about the RaeSide because there's always a post-credit scene on the show. but also on Andor that yes, there is a post-credit scene. How interesting. How interesting. Maybe I should do a watch party for after. Should I put a W in the chat if I should do a watch party after Andor tonight? Only for like a short one, like 20 minutes, just like immediate reaction. Put a W in the chat if you think I should be doing that. Yes, I agree. Star Wars is like a buffet. Try a bit of whatever catches your eye. Totally agree. Some great ideas here. The spice must flow. The thing that Andor actually enhances your enjoyment of other films and shows because it builds the Star Wars universe so well and is so immersive. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that, yeah, that day-to-day living is the interesting part of Andor. Is really, really interesting. What I meant was Kenobi broke canon with Leia. The Bad Batch broke canon with Kanan. The Book of Boba Fett broke canon with Yoda's saber. And those are all my people were always talking about how they love Star Wars. That's fair. But you know what? Sometimes like breaking canon is rough. Like because the canon's been going for many, many years. And then it changed 10 years ago. It's a tough one to go, but is changing canon always a bad thing? That's the question. Is like, is that always a bad thing? But those are good examples. I couldn't have pulled those off the top of my head. House of the Gungans. I love that. I'm gonna skip a couple. Oh, Photos, you're back. You're back, my friend. I'm gonna try and catch up to all these amazing comments. See what we've got. We've got a bunch of W's in the chat. Okay, maybe we should be doing an after show. We'll see. I'll let you know. I'll tweet it out if I will. Nerd Cantina, I wanted to release a 4-hour cut of Revenge of the Sith on Disney Plus. That would be great. Yeah, absolutely. There's some goofy scenes. There's some really goofy scenes. Yeah, the hero journey does have a definitive good and evil. Totally agree. Now, you could say the Andor show isn't about heroes and it's more about survivors. Ooh, that's a cool way to put it. That is a cool way to put it. Yeah, it's like, you got comics, but they're like second. I can kind of know what you mean. I never got into the comics. Well, I might one day, but yeah, it's a, but people are super into the comics. And a lot of Star Wars fans love Star Wars comics, so I appreciate it. George Lucas broke his own canon by making Luke and Leia brothers. Just that's that's a good point. You're not wrong. That's a great point, Joel. Keep that in mind. Films are Star Wars upper tier canon. That's how it is. Yeah, it is kind of this silent canon like tier system. Is it like it's like films, like animation, but the animation is kind of like this. The live action is kind of coming into play these days. So it's kind of all over the place. To me, Andor shows Star Wars, the Rebel Alliance we all thought was the good guys, did some really terrible, shady things to further their cause. Too many in the galaxy, they are terrorists, not heroes. Yeah, that's fair. I think, and I think a part of that is like this is random connection, but it's like if Palpatine was to come into the show, it's like this is how it would spin it. He'll spin like all these rebel, people, all these rebel cells are good guys. But yeah, it's very interesting. We'll start to wrap up here on the RaeSide. We'll only go for a couple more minutes. I'll do quick reminders tomorrow. On the channel, on the RaeSide, the debut stream. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. That is midday here in Australia. Starting from tomorrow, every Wednesday night, we're doing gaming here on the RaeSide. So come watch. We're going to play some we'll put a bit of everything. Bit of Battlefront, bit of Lego Star Wars. It's going to be a great time, the 2015 Battlefront. And even if you don't like gaming, I just yatter on about everything that's in my mind about Star Wars. So it's going to be a good time to come and chat and discuss. So make sure if you want to check that out, you're here back on the channel tomorrow. So 2 hours before our usual show time. So 5 p.m. Pacific, and that is 8 p.m. Eastern. There we go. No. Yeah, I don't mind book retcons, but I keep trying to say that all that matters, which really isn't true. If you read a bunch of mid books and learn more and more, they'll get decanonized. The time was wasted. Yeah, that's fair, but it's very minimal. The amount of lore that's crossed over now is minimal. I'll say that. Star Wars to me means a sense of wonder and excitement, which sparked my imagination as a kid. Good versus evil, aliens, spaceships, magic space wizards, and bad guys with cool armor. You know what? And that's a very good way to put it. And I like the way it's something of a spark. The story always gives us something of a spark of wonder, excitement, imagination. Those are all very keywords, I think, to the Star Wars story that I think George wanted people to feel. He wanted to feel people with wonder, excitement, and imagination. So I think that's beautiful. I really like that. I really, really like that. Thank you, Lord Bane. Appreciate it. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. For Frodo? What? I love that. Andor is the core of Lucas-esque Star Wars because of how well it carries the themes of good versus evil. Oh, absolutely. Okay, I'll double check that the Star Wars Underworld link, but it's on here. The gaming's on the channel. You're already here, so there's no other gaming channel. It's on this channel. It's all on one place, all on the RaeSide, all just here. So you don't need to go anywhere else. You can just click back onto this channel tomorrow. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. What are we saying for Frodo 2? Did I miss something? I love that. We'll start to wrap up here today. We've enjoyed our Chandrillan squigs. Thanks to Mon Mothma. Cheers to Mon Mothma. Hopefully we get more of her in season 2. We enjoyed our blue noodles. I ravaged through those. They were delicious. What do we ranked? We didn't really rank them. We just talked about the weird Star Wars names we got in Andor. We brainstormed potential who is Uncle Harlow. That should be a segment on like every show I ever do now. We did so much today, and it's been a phenomenal time. Thank you so much for joining. Depending on how the show goes, I might do an after show. I think I might do an after show. I'm in the mood for an after show today. It's a finale. It's a fun time. I haven't got a link for it because I just thought of it, but we should probably do an after show after the finale, shan't we? Yeah, make sure gaming channel is coming out not gaming channel, sorry, gaming stream starting on the channel tomorrow. Again, what's the Frodo for? What's talking about Frodo for? Yeah, gaming tomorrow. We'll do a cheeky live stream tonight. If you stay up for the finale, come back here after you watch it. And you'll also be getting a review video on Thursday as well for the whole of Andor. But thank you so much, everyone, for the amazing comments. Make sure you go check out the Best of Star Wars video that came out yesterday. The most unhinged Clone Wars characters. Very fun to make that video. Go check it out. Comment below if you want any honorable mentions in there as well. And there's going to be a new video coming out that next Saturday. It's going to be a good time. So thank you so much, everyone, for all your comments. Appreciate all your time. It's a lot of fun here. Making the family together. Make it at homey. Star Wars nice and homey all together. It's been a great time. Take a nap or stay up until Andor finale, and we'll have a cheeky chat after the finale tonight. My name is Hannah. May the Force. I don't usually say may the Force be with you. My name is Hannah. Make sure you always choose the RaeSide. Welcome back to the post show. Every week we have a post credit scene here on the RaeSide. If you don't know about it, then you're missing out. If you're still here and you're still watching, you're very lucky, and you're one of the lucky ones. You're one of the chosen ones. I'll give you a sneaky. I won't show you anything. I still think I'm just gonna keep it a secret, but I will give you a cheeky update. So by next week, I'm gonna be announcing it at the end of the week. I'm coming out with a new line of Star Wars t-shirts, and there's gonna be, I can't count, 7. There's 7 Star Wars designs dropping next week. So I know it's Black Friday coming up. I know you're gonna be looking to what deals can you make? What sales can you grab? I'm telling you, hang out for these awesome, they're minimalistic, they're stylistic Star Wars designs. I'm really, really happy with them. I've been working closely with my graphic designer on them. And each shirt is about a different planet, and they're going to be awesome. So make sure, no one else knows this. I haven't promoted this elsewhere. This is only you and me right now in this post-credit scene that you know about this. So make sure you see around, and when you see that post, when I announce these shirts, you'll know. I will know. You know. I'll know that you'll know that only you knew about this. It's going to be amazing. 7 new shirts. That's right, Nerd Cantina. 7 shirts, and I'll put it on a big sale when I first drop them. So make sure you grab them. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a good time. Thank you so much for a great show, guys. Enjoy Andor Finale. I might be in the theory chat room over there for the watch party, but we'll have a cheeky post-finale chat over here. I'll see you guys later. Enjoy.